Welcome back to Getting Saucy with Chef Lynn. Today we're going to make some candied nuts. These are great for gifts, snacks. They're wonderful with cheeses. So let's get saucy. First, in this bowl I have 3 cups of sugar, and I'm going to mix that with a tablespoon and a half of cinnamon and a tablespoon of kosher salt. So we're just going to mix that together, whisk it together so it all distributes evenly, so you have your cinnamon and salt distributed evenly throughout your sugar. Because we're going to coat our nuts in this after we coat them with some egg whites. The egg white's going to help this really adhere to those nuts, and it's going to give it a really crispy, crunchy, candied shell. They're super delicious. So those are mixed nicely. Now I'm going to take 3 egg whites. I'm just going to separate this right into this large bowl here. Pass it back and forth between the shell like that. And then I'm going to save these yolks because I'll use these later for something else. So just the whites in here, and then to that we are going to add 3 tablespoons of water, and then we're going to whisk this up until we get some soft peaks. So you can see that's starting to thicken up quite nicely. And that's good, that's a nice soft peak, you can see. They're holding a nice soft peak. We are going to add our nuts. So I have here mixed nuts. You can do mixed nuts, you can do just one type of nuts, however, whatever you like. I have about, what do I have here? I have about 3.5 pounds of nuts. You could do, with this amount of egg white, you could do about 4 pounds. If you're going to go more than that, add another egg white. First I'm going to mix this and get all of these nuts nice and coated in the egg white here. Just toss them together. Make sure everything is nice and coated in those egg whites. And then we're going to add this sugar mixture. And do the same thing again. Toss this together. Get those nuts all coated in those sugar and spices, cinnamon, a little bit of salt in there just to wake everything up a bit. Now, you could add other stuff to this too. I've done these with a little bit of cayenne in there just to make them a little sweet and spicy. That's delicious. If you wanted to add more stuff like, obviously, nutmeg or ginger would be great in here. But I just like the cinnamon, or the cinnamon with the cayenne myself. The spiciness, little hint of spice from the cayenne is great. Okay, so now these are going to go onto 2 baking sheets so that we get a nice, even, single layer. So I'm going to divide this as evenly as I can onto these 2 baking sheets and spread them out, like I said, good even single layer. And then these will go into the oven at 250 for 1 hour. Every 15 minutes we're going to take them out and stir them so that they get nice and toasted on all sides and everything gets nice and crispy. Okay, so these have had their first 15 minutes in the oven, and now, just like I said, give it a little stir. Stir everything around. You can see not much has changed at this point, but you can see it's like starting to melt a little bit, sugar, and get a little sticky. All right, back in the oven for another 15 minutes. Okay, that's it. So these are done. Now, like I said, gotta let them cool before you eat them. They're, first of all, super hot, but they're gonna actually get more and more crispy as they sit and cool to room temperature. But I'm gonna take one for the team and taste one just so you... They are so good. Sweet. You got that little cinnamon. They're not like salty from the salt, it just balances everything out, amps up the flavor. So let these cool down, and I'm gonna package them up and give them as gifts. Like I said, probably eat a handful here or there myself. Thank you so much for joining me again on Getting Saucy with Chef Lynn. You can find me across all social media at Chef Lynn Wheeler, and hope to see you next time.